Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm joined with Rohit, and it's going to be awesome because we're going to be speaking about autism, all things autism, hobbies, and our journey. So, Rohit, thank you for coming on today.
No, no worries. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like to talk about all those great things. And would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Rohit. I'm an autistic content creator, YouTuber, pianist. I play the piano quite a lot, and I'm someone that just wants to make a positive influence in the world about autism. And yeah,
Yeah, you do great work, Rohit, like with your like awareness and raising awareness because it is really important, isn't it?
it is, and I think it's very crucial that we raise awareness of autism everywhere because not a lot of people know what autism is, what it means, how it can affect us as autistic people, and how the world isn't as that it cannot adapt to us properly. What I mean by that is that the world isn't suited for autistic people, and that's something that we really need to work on. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it like doing stuff like this, doing like panels, just talking about autism, because there's so much to talk about it, isn't there? Like so many different subjects around autism, which other people don't know. So it's great that we can talk about it because it can be, um, to some people not something that they find uncomfortable to talk about to someone else. So it's great we're here today talking about it, right?
Yeah, and I mean talking about things like stimming, sensory overload, shutdowns, meltdowns, how you can help an autistic person get out of a shutdown or a meltdown from happening. It's very good that we're talking about these things, and it's very good that we are raising awareness about these things.
Yeah, and like stimming is like it is. I just say complicated word, isn't it? Because it's very hard, I guess, hard to understand what it is because it is like not the same for everyone. Um like when we talk to one another, we may like hold something or like fiddle with something that makes us maybe comfortable to
Hmm.
speak about a certain subject or just keep maybe ourselves concentrated, I guess.
Yeah, and stimming is something that is very spoken about as like a child trait of autism, and that is something that we still need to keep speaking about because, like, so I have this. This is a fidget ring spinner thingy. I do this with it because it helps me regulate my emotions and helps keeps me calm. But there's other ways of how you can stim. So like you could hum a song, you could play around with your hands, and we do need to normalize this behavior because I still feel like in today's world, in today's society, the way that, so for example, I was walking down the street the other day and I was just like doing this with my hands, and it was just like writing numbers, random things. And this guy was driving in his car and he was beeping at me and then he was imitating it, but he was just like laughing it off as like, oh, no, look at that guy. And I'm just like, I'm stimming. Why are you mocking it? So I think it's very important that we raise awareness of stimming because it's what a lot of autistic people do and it's not normalized in the world that we live in today. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree because only till not long ago I didn't know myself what it was, or I did it because like it is something that you may like you say humming or maybe touching something or doing something maybe a
Mm,
certain amount of times it counts as stimming and it's very important that we kind of acknowledge it because it may just be like like um you like teddies or something like me
yeah.
like 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 we were speaking about football before before we start recording like whenever I go to a new football ground I will go into the shop and I'll buy a teddy like of that club and it may be like I may not have gone to the game but if I'm in that city I want to go to the ground just so I've got it so
Mm,
it's almost like that is like a kind of stemming kind of thing.
mm. And I think it's also important, like, I want to talk about this personally, but it's also important to like normalize, whatever that you take with you, because a lot of autistic people that I know like carry a lot of like plushies, squishmallows, teddies, and that's normalized as like a really childlike thing.
Mm.
And it shouldn't be normalized like that. It's our special interests. So if you love teddies, if you love plushies, if you like squishmallows, take it. Like, keep loving it because like if you feel like someone is saying that you're a kid for just holding it, just ignore them because they're just being, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, like you know, in the arcades when you know those machines where you've got
Mm,
the claws, like you put your
yeah.
money in and then they get the teddy, and then
Mm.
like you see like how often like you do it, you probably miss 10 times and you still want to keep going till you get that teddy. Um, in your mind it kind of is this kind of fix or something. Is it doing this on purpose? Because you're there, it gets probably one arm and then it falls off and then you can't get anymore.
Yeah. It's it's basically like when I was at this arcade machine, I think this was like 4 years ago, and I was trying to get this toy and it just wouldn't let me have it. I was just like, are you serious? Let me have the teddy. And I was just trying to get the teddy. And I think I got it after like the 11th try, and I was just like, there we go. Mission completed. It was a Sonic plushie, by the way, so it was actually
Ah,
really good. I know where I've put it, but I think it's at my old home because I moved homes just about as I went to that arcade. So yeah. Oh well.
ah.
Lost forever.
Yeah, yeah. Is that another one your like special interest kind of Sonic kind of stuff like games and
Yes.
teddies and stuff?
Yes. So I'm very, very passionate about Sonic the Hedgehog games, video games, movies, TV shows, plushies, teddy bears. So yeah, I think I remember playing about 10 years ago. Was it 10 years ago? Yeah, it's about 10, 20 years ago, playing Sonic Heroes. And that was one of my most favorite games that I started playing of Sonic. Wait, actually, no. Was it Sonic Heroes? I was actually Sonic Adventure 2, my bad. It was Sonic Adventure 2, and really got into it. Story mode, hero, dark, seeing how Shadow and Dr. Eggman tried to conquer the world, and seeing how Sonic and Tails tried to stop him, and then seeing the last mission, trying to save the whole world, was great, and it got me into Sonic. So yeah, 20 years later, and here we are.
Yeah, and still releasing Sonic games today, so
Mm,
it's quite fun.
like they are releasing Sonic Frontiers on the 8th of November, and that's something I'm looking very forward to because it has a lot of new game mechanics, graphics, new world, new levels, new enemies, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, are those kind of your type of games like adventure games?
Um, yeah, like Sonic Frontiers, I think is an adventure game, adventure combat. Like I do play a load of other random games, like FIFA. I played that a lot. I
Yeah,
don't play it too much because it's a game that can make me very excited and very frustrated. So I don't tend to play it that much. I do play Uncharted. I do play Mario. I kind of like Mario, especially Mario Kart. Like Mario
yeah,
Kart is so fun. I don't know if you remember back in the day, Mario Kart Wii, everyone was playing it, and
yeah,
it
yeah.
was so fun.
Yeah, I remember the Wii. Of course, no one has it anymore. Like that I know of. But I would spend hours in the main menu creating my character and playing with the other characters as well. Like that Wii me section.
Mm,
Um, it was so fun. But like with FIFA, I completely agree with what you're saying because like around this time of the year, I get really bored of it. Um, until the new one comes out. Um. So it like I will play it more like if I play it with maybe with friends if they want to give me a game. Um, but yeah, it's one of those games, isn't it? Because it's the same pattern. And you can get bored easily.
yeah, and with I think with FIFA, what they're trying to do is add a lot of new things to it. I remember in 2008, was 2008? 2010 that they introduced Ultimate Team. And the whole concept of Ultimate Team is you build your Ultimate Team with great players because that's what the whole concept of it was. So you get players in packs, special packs, get special limited players. It's basically building your own Ultimate Team. And then I think they've tried to change it up a bit. And I don't know, I'm not really like feeling it. I feel like the game has gone backwards. But I think with any game after it's been the same for such a long time, you do get slightly bored of it. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, because you come to say it like it's the same each year, other than like the new players moving teams. Um,
Mm.
I'm always curious, are they ever going to put VAR in FIFA? But that would frustrate a load of players, wouldn't it?
Um, yeah. Well, I can imagine. So here's a scenario. I can imagine the game is 2-2, 90th minute, they get a winner, they celebrate, and then, sorry guys, VAR progress and check, and they're just like, oh no, not this. Please, no, no. And then it's just like they're just anxiously waiting until the review. And then the referee turns away from the monitor, and then he does this. And then you're waiting for like 5 seconds and like, come on, just give me the decision, please. And then you're just like, VAR decision, no goal. And you're like, no. And then it's just like, oh my God.
Oh,
I don't like this game anymore. And yeah, it's gonna cause so much frustration, but it's gonna be so funny,
yeah.
but so stressful at the same time.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would, because I would love. It'd be good if they gave the option, so it could be like a mode that some like you can put the feature on, or you can put the feature off, so it's in the game or not.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
and maybe that's maybe just a thing for possibly career mode, or or or, or if not career mode, if they did it in Ultimate Team, that if you played a player that had wanted VAR too, that would be alright. So it worked that way. But like you say, it would frustrate a load of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I remember. So on Mario Kart, I'm just talking about video games now,
Yeah.
but on Mario Kart, do you remember Rainbow Road?
Yeah.
Um, so Rainbow Road, I remember where everyone said no, not Rainbow Road, not Rainbow Road, please, not Rainbow Road, because every time that you try and do a drift or try and turn, because there's like no corners, you would fall off and you'll be like, ah, I've got to start again, fall off, ah, I've got to start again. And I'm just like, that's my favorite course, mainly because of the chaos that happens on that track. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of falling off, we said that we get frustrated when we fall off on Fall Guys.
Yeah. So there's been this thing. I don't know if this has happened in Fall Guys before, but whenever I'm on a course or whenever I'm playing a level and I have to finish either in the top 20, top 25 to qualify, I'm followed by at least 3 or 4 people who are just like, you know what? Instead of just finishing the course, let's just sabotage this guy on purpose, just to annoy him slightly. And I'm just like, guys, people, please. I'm just just trying to finich the course.
Yeah.
Please. All I ask is just to finish the course. You can do what you want after. And they're just like, yeah, nah, well, I still want to sabotage you. They
Do you,
still do
do
it.
you do you see, like, so sometimes when you qualify and then you can spectate, and then there's always, you can sometimes see a person at the finish line, um just trying to standing there, and people trying to cross, and he's just stopping them standing there so people can't finish.
I see this a lot, and it is so, so funny. I like this so much because they're just standing there and they're just like, why is this person standing there? And they're just trying to sabotage someone. Okay, so there's one scenario where someone was almost the last qualifier to make it and they were like comfortable, like 26 out of 42. They're like, okay, I'm gonna make it through. This person decided to sabotage them so much by pushing them off the edge that by the time he almost made it to the finish line, the person pushing him off was 41st. and he was 42nd. So he was still gonna make it as the last person, but someone beat him to it. So yeah, that wasn't very good.
No, no, like they it's very interesting. But it's not interesting. It's interesting to watch, like but when you're watching that stuff. Not when it happens to us. It gets really
Oh
frustrating.
no.
Um, but yeah, like, I've learned to love that game now. I play that quite a lot. Fall Guys.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. Four Games is it four games? Four Guys is quite a fun game. It's quite enjoyable. All for good reasons, but all for wrong reasons. But every
Yeah,
game has its flaws, so
yeah.
fun.
Like, have you ever won? Like, got to the final and won it? Like before?
I've been very close to winning it. So I got into the final eight, and I was very close. You had to get this ring thing that was at the top,
Oh yeah,
and I was like about similar par first, second place. And I was like, okay, oh my God, I'm in first place. I'm gonna get it. Someone by a millimeter of a second beat me to it. And I was just like, I got it. I was like, huh? Second? Second? How did I get second? And I saw the time, it was just like by 0.05 of a second. So I was just like, oh my God, he beat me. But I was that close. I remember being like, I wouldn't say heartbroken. I was just like, so close. But yeah, played it. Still haven't got first place, but yeah, we moved. We'll keep going.
yeah, yeah. It's. I've got I think I got first place maybe twice. Um,
Mm,
and it wasn't that course. I can't like the one where you got the ring at the end. It's very hard because it's hard to find out where you got to go. Like I'm here on the left hand side, knowing oh look, everyone on the right is a higher leap, so you can jump on the crown and thinking, oh, I did it wrong. Um, but yeah, it's a nice feeling when you win, I guess. But it depends what course you're given. I think like to see how you can
yeah,
do.
yeah. I think so this course was just like a race course, basically just get to the end. But I know there's another course where you have to stay on the platform and well actually yeah, on the platform, but then the blocks that you're standing on just randomly start disappearing as soon as you start
Oh
jumping
yeah,
on them. So you have to keep finding a new block and keep jumping on every single new block until everyone else decides to fall off. Basically, it's basically survival.
yeah,
Survive and you'll make it. But if you don't survive, you're gone.
yeah. Because you have all these different colors, don't you? It's like a tower.
Yeah.
Um, and that's how I won my first game. On Fall
Ah.
Guys, it was that course actually, and it was so close. I was thinking, I'm on here for like a while, and no one has gone. No, no one's been eliminated yet. I was thinking, what's going on? Please eliminate. I want to win this round. But you know that tower one that we're talking about, like the I saw recently. There's actually, when sometimes you're on a tower and you got to stay on, try not to fall. No, not a tower. Like you're on a platform and it spins round. It's
Hmm.
almost like the ones where the blocks disappear, but it's on that. And I found that round really hard. To stay on.
Ah. That's cool though, because you won the whole thing, and that must be like, yeah, oh, like, woohoo.
Yeah, yeah. And then I look at the achievements, and there's a trophy for doing that about 20 or 30 times, I think.
Oh,
um,
okay.
and like I can't. I struggle to do it once. Yeah, and like it's hard. It is hard to win it, but when you do win it, you'll kind of be happy that you've done it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because they have Sonic in that game, don't they? Fall Guys.
They've introduced something with Sonic, yeah. So this was in August. It was actually this month. Yeah, we're still in August, right? Yeah, we are.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought we were in September because we're nearly at
yeah.
September. But so I think it was announced on the 8th or the 10th, but they announced that Sonic will be coming to Fall Guys with new levels and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, whoa, okay. Yeah, okay.
Mm.
I like this. And the characters look quite nice. Eggman looked like an egghead. What did I say? But yeah, it looked cool. And yeah, I don't even know if it's on Fall Guys because I've not played it since the announcement was made, so I'm probably gonna play it after this and see
Yeah,
if it's
because we're talking about it,
yeah.
so you got to play it now.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's it
Yeah,
really. Gotta
yeah.
play it.
But the thing is, like before we did this, like we started this like podcast, um, I came across I was spectating and a person had the Sonic, and I haven't really come across any levels like with Sonic, like Sonic
Mm,
levels yet. And I don't know if they're like if there a certain like show that you have to be on to do it. So it's very interesting, but um, I guess more things will get announced. Like you got Sonic Hedgehog and all that. Maybe there'll be other kind of fandoms possibly that they'll put on the game.
mm. Yeah, I think I don't know how it works. I've not played it, but yeah, looks fun.
Definitely, definitely. So Rohit, when was you diagnosed with autism?
So from my headphones. So I was diagnosed at the age of 3, but I'd say about 4 to 3 years old. I diagnosed with autism, and I was quite young, so I didn't really know what to make of it because I was just like a child. But I think being autistic throughout my childhood all the way to like now, it's made me learn a lot about myself more than I thought I would know about myself, especially interacting with other autistic people, because there are things like tics, the way I twitch my neck sometimes, and the way that I use repetition of words, which is called echolalia, I think. I think it's called echolalia, where you repeat a certain word or something's repeating in your head like numerous times. And it's made me feel more in touch with myself and my identity, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That 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 is very interesting right here because I learned something new today. Um, but like within so because you were diagnosed at 3, was you told that you were autistic a bit later on, or because you were that young?
Um, funny enough, I have a doctor's letter issuing that I do or I was diagnosed autistic. I think it was in the 2000. Oh, crud. There was something up there. I think I was diagnosed in the 2000s. That's when I was diagnosed. So I didn't know because I was a child. Like, all I'm gonna do is walk and play with toys and twaddle some more. And I think my family probably told, no, not probably, why am I saying probably? Definitely told me by age 10. So around primary school, when I was like year 6, going on to secondary school, they told me that I'm autistic because I didn't really know why I was like repeating my own words, why I was stimming, why I felt isolated with the rest of the other students or children within the school. Because I was just like, I was more like an introvert. I kept myself to myself, and I didn't really like engage with a load of other people. But that's because I was just like naturally quiet, and I thought, oh, I might just be naturally quiet, or it might have been due to the fact that I'm autistic and socially engaging with people and social skills are something that's not me.
Yeah, yeah. It is very hard to
Mm,
gain conversations with people in general, really, isn't it? Um,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. But like with school, like what was that like? Was that okay? Like your experience, like at school then?
So I think from primary school, it was more to do with like I always kept myself to myself. I was always an introvert. I didn't really engage with like, a lot of other people. I mean, maybe just one person. That was probably like the SEN, so the special educational needs assistant, so the teacher assistant. But apart from that, I didn't really engage with a lot of people because I didn't know how to talk to people. I was just like, I just kept doing that because like I didn't really know how to talk to people, how to start the conversation. And I was just like, I think I was just very, very confused about school. And I think it made its way all the way to secondary school. Luckily, though, I met some people who were like friends, but who were like relatives because I already knew them. at a very young age. So moving into secondary school was quite smooth. But at the same time, even when I did this, I was still looked in a very weird manner. Like a lot of people gave me these like these looks. They'll either cross their eyes towards me and then just look back and talk to their friend. And I don't know, made me feel a little bit uneasy. I think school was like a learning experience, but it was very traumatic to the fact that I didn't really settle well in school. Like making friends was hard, talking to people was hard. I mean, understanding, the panel we did like last week with autism
Yeah,
and puberty, which says that was like pretty hard to understand my own body. Like, why was I experiencing all these emotions and feelings? Like, why was acne developing in my body? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? I
yeah,
think all this change at school made it not a very good experience, but I'm glad that experience happened because I can deal with change a little bit better, but I'm glad it's gone because I don't really want to go through school again.
yeah, yeah. It's nice that it's finished already, isn't it? Like school.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But like with the panel that we done, it was very interesting to talk because we like about puberty and like how it was like in school um because did you say Rohit you didn't really get taught at school there wasn't much about it um like with puberty when you were at school.
So yeah, I did mention that in panel. So there's not much that I got taught at school. So PHSE, I didn't know what that was until like 3, 4 years ago. Someone mentioned it to me, and I was just like, "What is PHSE?" And they were mentioning it to me. I was like, "Oh wow, why wasn't this in school when I was there?" Because like they teach you like how to deal with mental health, social skills, and I'm just like, where was this? I needed this because they don't teach you like the fundamental basics of being through life, like life skills, how to cope with your own emotions, how to pay bills, how to manage your own independent life. And school is all about learning about maths and English, which is important, but it's all about like learning about a load of other subjects, which I don't feel like is necessary. Like, I think one of the subjects that I enjoyed doing was music, and that was more like an escapism from the real world because I play piano, and I really enjoy it because it's one of my coping methods to escape from this world that's not built for us. And with the panel with puberty, going through that change, hoping that schools introduce what puberty is, and hopefully us doing that panel with autism and puberty get well teaches school teaches educators what it's like for us to go through puberty. Sorry, I'm just waffling now, but
No,
yeah.
no, yeah, it's okay because I completely agree with you because
Mm,
like as we said in the panel, like stuff needs to be kind of said and done now because
mm,
which a couple people in the panel going to be doing I think stuff to make it more aware in schools, which is important because like there was sex education when I was at school, but um it's hard subject because like it's different for everyone, of course, like autism is, and like
mm,
it's something that needs to be said and done more like yourself because you didn't know about PSCHE, and like you do now a little bit, but like it's good that well, it's not good that that happened, but like maybe for like other people in future generations that things aren't that way.
mm. I think the introduction of PHSE, um, if people know about it, or because there seems to be a huge awareness about it now, I think it will benefit people in the long term, especially with independent life skills, how to cook, how to clean, how to manage your bills, how to live life independently. Basically, all about life because like life skills is a very core thing within every human being that people need to learn about because school teaches you the academic side of things, so like maths, English, two times two, what English language is, PE, physical aspect, physical fitness, mental health. But it doesn't teach you like I wouldn't say the emotional side of things, but like the life side of things. And I think if school focuses more on that, as well as the academic side of things, the academic side of things is really important, but if school focuses more on that as well, then I think school will be beneficial for everyone. And it'll also stop like a lot of people who go into mental health is because of trauma and it's because of, a lot of things that they've gone through in their life haven't been explained to them properly. How we needed to, what was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about how we could improve mental health services and how I think we need more mental health awareness and education in school because I think it would explain a lot of like trauma that a lot of people go through, especially early on in life. And I feel that having these open, authentic, real conversations, and a lot of people are very scared of being vulnerable. My advice to a lot of people who are going through a lot of things right now, take it from someone who has gone through a lot of things with mental health. Being vulnerable is actually a good thing. It's a good thing to be open to people. It's a good thing to talk to people about what you're experiencing because it can help you and help and support is great. Like, don't be afraid of asking for help because we're not always going to be 100% all the time. And sometimes it's good to ask for help because sometimes you need to get things off your chest. So, yeah, always ask for help. It helps.
Yeah. It's very important because, like,
Mm,
when we was younger, it must have been really hard for us to ask for help, and like now we're older, that you can maybe have a bit more confidence than we were when we were little, um, to ask for that help because mental health is it's very important and like it links in with everything everyone does. Like it's it's something that I would like to see it maybe like because it's always linked into everything, isn't it? It's not like a direct thing that people talk about on its own. It's more like if you're with something else. But mental health is especially more talked about now, I think, than like maybe 5 years ago. So it's doing good.
mm. Yeah, definitely. Especially at a time so when I went to school, I think, gosh, I left secondary school about 8 years ago. Yeah, about 8 years ago, 8, 9 years ago. Because I left in like 2013, so that makes it, yeah, about nine. So there wasn't a lot of mental health stuff being taught at school, but back then. So it's really good that it's being taught now, and I think it will help a lot of people.
Yeah, it will, and it's good like that. Because a lot of people do stuff because of mental health, how mental health has affected them, like that. Like you
Mm,
may go into public speaking, or different jobs that affect that things that can even help mental health. Like you may do
yeah.
something that really helps your mental health, like and have a really good mindset because I'm all for one for keeping being positive because I don't like being negative, but sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes you're gonna feel low and stuff like that for maybe for certain situations or
Mm.
maybe not making many friends when you feel like you should. But I think a small friendship group is better, I think, than rather than having a load of friends that like maybe don't talk to all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like personally, I have probably maybe like a couple of people, but that's it. Like I keep a lot of people very close. I have a bunch of acquaintances, so people that I talk to, but not as much. So like people at school, but we don't talk as much. We barely talk at all because it was like school, and school wasn't like very good. But apart from that, I've made a lot of close friends, especially in certain groups where I've been to college, where I've been to like work, and I've kept friends from there. And yeah, I think it's much better to keep a close friendship group than rather than enlarging it. I think only because like I don't know, I just like to keep my friends close, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it really.
Yeah, yeah. Like I only have a couple from school that I probably still speak to. But I don't speak to
Mm,
everyone. But it is a shame, like, but that's what happens. Like when you leave school, isn't it? Like you don't you meet new people and you meet new friends, and that's how life goes. Like, um,
mm,
sometimes you may keep one really close friend that you're gonna be friends for ages. But I guess it works both ways, doesn't it? So if you put the effort in, and another person doesn't, you kind of know how that's gonna go.
exactly. Yeah. And I mean like with with friendships, people come and go. So I mean people have come and gone in my life. But it is what it is. I'm just like, oh my God, that friend left me. I'm not really too bothered about it. I'm just like, eh, I'll find someone else new. I'm sure I will.
Yeah, you gotta keep meeting new people all the time.
Mm,
It might be at work, it may just be an event, um, it may be
mm,
just like linking hobbies into it as well, because I think hobbies has a lot helps with autism, doesn't it? Because like we've spoken about, like video games, football, like Sonic, um,
mm,
like all those kind of help, and like, you're not going to be the only one right here. Oh, but we're not going to be the only ones who like that kind of stuff. There's people out
mm.
there that do too. So that's the joy of it, because not everyone's going to like a hobby that you like, but there are other going to be people that you can make friends with that like that too.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I think that's good ways to meet people, um, because
Mm,
like it is like with mental health. Like you say, I think mental health needs to be talked about more in school. Because look, I think like we said on the panel, like quite a lot of it is to do with exams. It mostly to be doing exams time you get into year even nine, even year nine, you're preparing for your exams that you're gonna have in year 11. So it's all put on that, not other things like PSCHE, sex education, the future, or like what you want to do afterwards, because it's really pressure, isn't it? Because when you're in those
mm.
early years of school, you get asked, what do you want to do for a job when you leave school? And you don't really know, really, do you, at that kind of moment in time?
Exactly. I think like I remember when I was at school, I didn't know what I was gonna do. Well, I did, but it wasn't really realistic. So I wanted to be a footballer. Um, but that wasn't possible. Mainly because I was doing football, but it was at school. I think I did play. Did I do a trial? I might have done a trial for like the Southampton youth team, but apart from that, um, yeah, I didn't really do much with like the football side, so I had to like reevaluate my goals. But I just didn't know what I was gonna do until college and until like doing this like BFI Film Academy course that I knew what I wanted to do, and that was like film and TV. So, yeah.
Yeah, so are you into like filming and TV then? Is that like what you kind of do?
Yeah, so my goals or my job goals are basically to be a development researcher, so to work in development. And what development is basically you have a group of people and they come up with new and existing ideas for TV shows. It could be films, but it's mainly TV shows because development researcher you usually find in TV. But the other word for film would be like script assistant or script writer or just writer or screenwriter, a person who just writes scripts for like films and other stuff, short films, comedy, animation. And that's the thing I want to do because I like being creative, and that's the best way I can probably impact the world. And
Yeah,
I know I just like it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It kind of links into Sonic again then, because that's like animation, isn't it? So you
Mm,
maybe that links in theirs, but it's really good. It's like that's a really interesting kind of job that you want to get into. Um,
yeah, very.
yeah, I wish you all the best for it. Hope it all
Thanks.
works out. Um, like I was the same, like when I was young, I want to be a footballer. Um,
Mm,
and then of course I didn't work out. Um, like I'll go to these football things all the time, and like but now for me it's more like being like a kind of a football kind of coach, not for like a top club or
Mm,
anything, just like teaching people with autism, who don't have much chance to be in that kind of work, like because it's hard for people with autism to kind of get into sports and get involved. Um, so I kind of want to make it like where people can, and like knowing that I'm autistic too, so I've been in their shoes, so I can help in that kind of sense. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do because I like for football as well, but it's
y-
good stuff.
yeah, I mean that's awesome. So nice one, because that is really, really good. Um especially I don't know if you so like in a football ground, obviously the stadium, there's a lot of loud people chanting, and obviously sometimes it can set off a lot of sensory triggers. And luckily, what football clubs have been doing over the last few years is they've been including things like sensory rooms, which are an absolute lifesaver because they're quiet, um, and it's just sensory amazing. It's just like you got like things like bubble tubes, things like little squiggly lines. It's just a sensory friendly experience, and I think that would benefit. It benefits a lot of it benefits me because that's why I went to see a match, which was probably about 3, 4 years ago. And it's good that you're doing things in sport because I don't think I've not seen a lot of autistic people in sport, so that's really good that you're doing that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you. I want to get back into it because COVID has been really affected with doing that
Mm,
kind of stuff, and I haven't really been got back into doing it. So at some point, I do really want to get back into it because um I yeah it's something that I want to do, but it's really
mm.
interesting. But yeah, we're talking about the TV and stuff, but like how do you feel like with like autism actors, um, like within TV, like maybe like a person that isn't autistic kind of acts a part that you're playing an autistic character. Like, do you feel like autistic people should play the characters, or like how do you feel about that kind of concept?
So I'm very mixed about it. Like at the end of the day, I want autistic actors and actresses or autistic characters to be played by autistic people. The only reason why I want this is because I know a job of an actor or an actress is to act, like act a scene or act in the film or the TV show, but you cannot act things like meltdowns. You cannot act things like shutdowns or sensory overload or things like tics or stims. It's something that only comes authentically naturally to you. And like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like if someone isn't autistic and they try and act something out, I feel like it's taking a little bit, I feel like it's just I would say degrading autistic people, but sometimes it just takes the fun out, it just takes the mick out of autistic people. I wouldn't say maybe not in that sense, but I just prefer autistic actors and actresses like being a part of like autistic characters because you're representing me. And if you think that's how I act and I don't act like that, then I don't know, it just becomes really like hurtful. So that's why I always want autistic actors and actresses headlining autistic characters. If they're not, then bye.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's really hard because as we know, Rohit, it's hard for autistic people in general to get jobs and to do
Mm,
these
yeah.
kind of things. And like I guess we don't know. Like sometimes when we watch a show, unless we research it, if like an actor who's playing an autistic person is actually autistic themselves. But like, it's very important that if they aren't, if they haven't got autism, they have to do it really well. But it's almost like they
Mm,
kind of for someone that hasn't got autism and they're acting that part they kind of pretend that they're doing it something an autistic person would do. And like you say, it's much better when an autistic person would do it themselves because it's not like they're pretending. It's like they're doing it for them, like for who they are.
And I think what the film and TV industry is struggling to deal with, which which what it needs to do more of is improve the inclusion, accessibility, diversity, because they aren't making it as accessible enough for autistic people. Like, for example, when I was like at an interview, it was so loud, I was like felt my brain was going all over the place, and there was no like quiet rooms, and it felt like if I brought this with me, people would be just like, any reason why you're holding that? They would ask it in a very condescending way, and I don't think you should be asking that of people in a very condescending way. You should be more like open to talk about things. And it's just, I think there needs to be more work in terms of accessibility, especially when it comes to disabled people as well, with wheelchair and ramps, um, sign language, audio captioning on TV shows. There's a lot of audio captioning on TV shows and films, but there's not a lot, and especially with someone who might have audio processing difficulties, um, it can really become at a disadvantage for them. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I I definitely agree. And like we're talking about football like grounds, like do you get really agitated when like like you go into say you go to a football match and there's lots of noise like cheering on your team. Like did you get really agitated when that is happening, or are you are going along with it like cheering your team as well, or how are you with that?
I think when I went to see City play, I was more like, yeah, woo, yeah.
Yeah,
I was more cheering along, getting on along with it. I guess I don't know. I just felt like included with the crowd, and I don't know. I just felt I was very hyped that day. So yeah, because I was watching my team play, and I was just like, yeah, I feel excited, I feel hyped. So yeah, I just felt like I was with the crowd. But I think there was one time when I went to a match, and I was just like, the noise was a bit too much, so I just went out of the crowd, and I went into the stadium. Well, no, I'm already in the stadium. I'm talking about. I was going to the office and I was asking, "Can I use your sensory room?" Because I used to use the sensory room because I was feeling really overstimulated by everything. So I went to the sensory room. I felt much more calmer. I think I stayed there for the rest of the game because I was just like, "This is so calm. I'm not gonna leave here."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like with the football team I go to, like I was like with one of the disability workers, I think there. Kind of talking about getting a sense from there because it would have been really helpful,
Mm,
especially in COVID times still as well. Like not wanting to go and in a match maybe where everyone um because you don't know now, do you? Like because when you go to football match, anyone doesn't can go in it now. So even in that sense, it'd be nice to have sensory rooms. Of course,
mm,
it's a lower football club I'm talking about, so may not be as advanced as maybe Manchester City. So, um,
yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
but sensory rooms are very good because when I went from a mainstream to a special, I loved the sensory room and the soft play rooms because they were
mm,
really diverse and I could go in them. It'll be really relaxing. You could just go out class and say, um, "Can I just go in the sensory room or the soft play room?" I did like the sensory room because it was more calm rather than a soft play where, like, I didn't mind it, but it was very busy and um, a bit like a play school area. It was very small
yeah.
though. It was small.
Mm,
It was.
yeah. Yeah, I like play storyrooms. They're quite nice and they're quite calming.
Yeah, definitely. So Rohit, when you was at school, did you just go to mainstream school? Was it?
Um, so I don't know what school it was. So I went somewhere called Westgate, and I think that was mainstream enough. So I went to a mainstream school. Yeah, it was mainstream school because, like, yeah. So I went to Westgate, and as I said, it was okay. But I think the most thing that I'm glad that I don't have to experience again was so you know where you have a timetable and there's like different classes you have to go to,
Yeah.
and whenever that class finished, there was a bunch of people in the hallway just rushing to go to the next class. I was like, whoa, whoa, okay, my brain can't handle this. So it was just like panic. And I think that's the most that's the thing that I always dreaded the most, like going from each class to class and experiencing crowd noise and people just speaking and talking, and it was just it was chaos. But yeah.
Yeah, like it's very rushed, isn't it? Like,
Very rushed, yeah.
yeah, like Sonic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
Sonic,
yeah,
but I think this is just chaos. Like with Sonic, Sonic has speed and he rushes through things. But he's cool with it. This was uncool.
definitely, definitely. But because it's really complicated because I remember in mainstream, I was only there for a year and a bit, a year and a half.
Mm,
Um, and the planner, you know, your timetable was very complicated because you had half a dozen classrooms you got to go to in a day, and I was struggling to find where it was once, and then a teacher, you know, when you see a teacher's facial expressions like they don't want to be there helping you, um,
mm,
they were like that, and I said, you don't have to help me if you don't want to, if you've got places to be, and they said, no, hurry up and flip to the page, and I didn't fully process. It was too fast for my brain to handle,
mm,
for what he was telling me, and I was still lost. Um, and
mm.
if you're late or something in mainstream, they're like you just get a detention, like
Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
mean, it's not like it's not good. Like, I think that's another thing they need to do in the schools. I think I know be more adaptable to the student because sometimes they're just like, hurry up to the page, I need to go to class. I get why you need to go to class. Okay, I know what they need to teach your class, but I'm sure it takes about like 10-15 seconds just to direct someone and then just, explain what class they need to go. But it probably takes about 30 seconds even. It doesn't take that long. So I don't know. I feel like there needs to be more like there needs to be more adaptation to students. I don't know. School has a lot of things that needs fixing.
definitely, definitely, and
Mm,
you know, I would love, in a way I wouldn't love it, but in a way I would like to go back to the mainstream school I went to and see if anything is done differently now, because it's been a while since I went to school, and like I, I I said to the head of year, he said, "Are you going to come back and visit?" Say, "Yeah, well." At the time, I wasn't being truthful, because I just wanted out, you know, of the mainstream school because it wasn't very friendly. But on the way, I did like some teachers there because some were leaving along with me, so it was kind of fun. Um,
mm,
but like PE, for example, getting changed is very a rush. Like it's a time limit. Like if you don't get changed in 5 seconds, they say you have been locked in. And of course, with autism, it can take that very seriously if they say stuff like that. Really,
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe I didn't have that as much as school, but obviously we had a time limit. I guess it's getting changed and going out and being ready. Yeah, I think PE needs fixed. I mean, I don't think the whole school system is suited for autistic people, which also needs to be changed. And I think it's also why Sez and Vicky are working on this project, which I'm very excited to hear more about because the system does need changing because it's just not accessible, nor is it inclusive for autistic people at all.
yeah, definitely. Um, and it is something that is very important because, like, we all do so much work in the autism community because of this. Like, because we want to, and we want to change things too. And like you say, it's great that they're doing that. Seth and Vicky, because stuff needs to be done not just with puberty, lots more. That's just one thing over the millions, you know.
Yeah,
That needs to be done, but we have to start somewhere, I guess.
yeah. Start small and then grow. Just hope that, well, hopefully schools will actually try, I wouldn't say pay attention, but at least try and show some endeavor to listen. I'm not saying all schools don't listen, schools do, but I don't know. I just feel like there's it's like the bare minimum's being done. I feel like there needs to be more that needs to be done. But yeah.
Yeah, like listen to autistic people. Um, just do different things, to do different projects. Um, it's something that it's important, like because like you
Mm,
say that the whole system needs to be changed. The whole autism kind of like educational system needs to be changed. Like you say, it's not right for people, especially in mainstream. Mainstream
mm,
definitely, because like it's all about how teachers approach us. Like how people come across, how people speak to us. Um, I like because you're in a class and they expect everyone to do the work. They say you got a sheet, all do it, and then you find out should I ask for help because you're just going to tell me try it myself. So it's very difficult.
yeah, definitely. It's very tricky. And I think that's why we need change. We need it.
Definitely.
I wouldn't say we need it quickly. It will come gradually, but I think every step that we take now will benefit maybe not just us, but I think it will benefit the future generations to come, and it will benefit a lot of autistic people who will feel more comfortable at school because what I want at the end of the day is for more autistic people to be comfortable at school. And if they're going through a very traumatic situation or going through something right now, I think there needs to be support and understanding rather than belittling and bullying. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's something that I can't wait to see what happens for the future. Because I think the future is going to be brighter
mm,
than maybe
yeah.
our school experiences. I hope so because like there's so much work now getting done like with different communities to get that stuff changed because the more people talk about it, the more people want things to change and like have better experiences for different people. So I'm very excited, Rohit, to see what is the cut.
Mm, yeah, me too, me too. Hopefully they make changes. Because well, they need to.
Yeah, they do.
But I really am looking forward to see what happens for the future of education for autistic people. But there needs to be change, and obviously it can only start from small changes. But when we do get the small changes in, it can gradually be bigger changes. I just want it to change, but you know, that's me anyways.
Yeah, yeah. Like so much we want to change, but like we said, one step at a time and start somewhere, and then we can work on other stuff around
Hmm.
the educational system.
Hmm.
Because I'm part of like it's called the Mighty School Council where like you can talk about the different stuff that you're passionate about to raise awareness and get stuff changed as well. Like um I talk about autism and Crohn's, which I do on here. So
Mm.
I'll talk about that and like I've done a project that I want to do again, possibly next year. I did it.
Okay.
I think I did it in 2020. It might have been 2021. No, early 2021 maybe. I did
Mhm.
something called like a reach out, speak up program where I would speak. Me and another ambassador for the Mighty School Council would do like it'll be aged that like you have olders and youngers like boosting their confidence because when I was younger my confidence was really low. I wasn't confident at all. So like maybe like helping other people's confidence. So I did that, and everyone had autism. So
Mm. That's
so
cool.
it's stuff like that. So lots. That's what I like to do. Like just get involved in different things, and I know you do too. Like you get involved in different panels and all that great stuff.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
yeah,
Raising awareness together. Yeah.
yeah. um,
Okay, cool.
but before we finish, right here, is there any like any more advice that you want to say?
Um, I think first of all, my advice to autistic children, people, young people. If you're experiencing all this change, it's very, very valid. If you're experiencing any bullying, don't take no for an answer. Report it to someone. Talk to people. I find that talking to people does help me. It can be a struggle though, so if you don't feel comfortable talking to people, I understand why. And I think as much as hard as it says, um, just be yourselves because I think that's the most, if you be your most authentic you self, I think that's just great because it just shows what sort of side that you're bringing. But also, I get why you would want to hide away from your authentic self because of masking. If you don't know what masking is, it's kind of like hiding your authentic self away from the real world to try and to adjust to people's needs. So basically, like neurotypicals, neurotypical is a term for non-disabled, non-autistic person, and you shouldn't have to do that. But neurotypicals will be neurotypicals, and neurotypicals they have their minds are. I wouldn't say all neurotypicals' minds are odd. Okay, like you're all amazing, but some of you just need to treat autistic people with compassion, respect, and empathy. So whenever we stim, whenever we have a meltdown, shutdown, sensory overload, try and understand and support us. I think that would be the main thing I would say to neurotypical people. And for parents of autistic children, looking after your autistic children is amazing. Autistic people are amazing, and there will be a lot of bumps, like with any child, with any person along the road. And I think the main thing we ask of you is one, listen to us, and two, support us, and three, try and be on our side because some of you, well, not want to say all of you, but a lot of people try and take sides. So I think love, support, kindness, empathy, and just listening to us is the main thing that you should be doing for autistic people. And yeah.
Well, thank you for that, right? Because it's some really important information there. And like important, like besides as well, always important to understand the good side. Um, but yeah, I love what you're saying, especially with masking. I think masking is really
Mm,
important, and masking is a very other complicated thing as well. To speak about, people don't know what it is, because like it's like you say, you can hide, maybe hide your autism, like you don't really want to talk about it. Um, um, Similar to stimming in ways. So
mm,
thank you for that, Rohit. Um,
yeah. And I mean, like with masking, it's more like a survival tactic for many autistic people, mainly because even though you're hiding away your authentic self, um, you're kind of trying to interact with the world. So it's a good survival tactic in that sense. And that's why I think we need more autism awareness to try and normalize the use of stimming, to normalize the use of shutdowns, meltdowns whenever you feel upset, sensory overload, normalize having, as we said, mentioned before earlier, plushies, teddy bears. That's what being autistic for many of us feels like. And if we normalize that, then, masking wouldn't be a problem. But unfortunately, a lot of us mask because we're scared of showing our real authentic selves because we know people either will look at us really weirdly, will give us the look at the eyes like this there, or will just have very strange things to say. So I'll just say just support and listen to us, man. That's all we need. And yeah.
yeah, just just support us, listen to us, hear what we got to say, and just agree with us. Yeah, just agree. What we're
Yeah.
saying is right, but it's hard to it is hard to explain. But just yeah, like you say, listen to us. I think that's a good
Yeah.
way.
And also listen to different what's the word? Different perspectives of autistic people as well, because all of us are different, we're not all the same. So yeah, that's another important thing.
Yeah, I agree. Like we're not the same. I always say that if we were the same, we wouldn't need to do this because we know what we're like. So
Yeah,
like
it'd be
everyone,
pretty boring.
yeah, yeah, it'd be a bit boring. But one last thing I want to say, I wanted to finish it there, but I wanted to ask, like we said about like doing the same thing can be quite boring, like with FIFA, for example, type of game like that. But will you be buying FIFA 23, Rohit?
Uh, I'm gonna think about this. Maybe it,
Maybe.
it depends. I've not seen the trailer for it. I'm gonna firstly, before I buy it, see the gameplay and see what people are saying about it. If it's good, I'll get it. If it's trash, I'm not getting
Yeah.
it.
Good
Yeah.
mindset. Good
Sorry.
mindset.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any other game, really, isn't it? Like like if you see
Yeah.
the gameplay, is it good? All really important to um to think about before you buy something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, um, well, thanks, Rohit. It's been great talking to you about autism, gaming, football, all loads of stuff, and how we can improve like the education system. So I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being on here. Thanks for having me. And yeah, let's educate and change the world, people.
Yeah, we got to change the world. Thanks again, Rohit.
Bye.